homesteading to prepping to common horse sense, we are College Hill Farm. Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Well, today I'm getting ready to dig sweet potatoes. I went down and bush hogged them off, and I want to talk about a 5-year review of this Harbor Freight quick hitch. Now, it's been one of the best things that I ever bought on my homestead. Now, it sells for $99 regular. Kentucky Farm Bureau sent me a paper here the other day, and they had them for $79 for a coupon. So it would be the best $79 you ever spent. Now, what it does is it connects up to my equipment. I use it for my rotary cutter, my tiller, and my cultivators. But there are some implements that it won't hook up to. But 99.9% of the time, I use it for those implements. But now, it has a problem that everybody has talked about on the internet, is right here where the hook is. It has a problem connecting. Well, I solved that problem with something very simple. For me, it was $12.99. I think they've gone up to $14.99. It's called a swivel. And all it does is it connects the top part of your implement to the hook. Now, a lot of folks have told me when I did the first review, and there's been 250,000 hits on it, when I did the first review, everybody says your top length is too short. You should lengthen your top length. The truth is that this hook will not fit in here, period. It won't fit between these, and it won't fit up here, period. And everybody has that problem. That's why I've got 250,000 views on the internet from this quick hitch, because of my way of connecting it so cheaply. $14.99, and I bought one for every implement I have. Okay, that way I can pull up, stay on the seat of my tractor, pick up my implement, and drive off. The only time I have to get off the tractor is to connect the PTO. And as far as the PTO, let's look at that right here. I'm going to show you the PTO, but before I do that, I'm going to show you that there's plenty of room to get in there and attach your PTO. I'm a fat boy. Big guy, have been all my life. But to get in there and detach the PTO, if you look, there's plenty of room. I can even walk behind this quick hitch by a little bit and just get right over here and take that PTO loose. There's plenty of room. You know, some people say there isn't room, there isn't this, there isn't that. Now, what does it do to your PTO? Well, from these hooks back, if you measured it, I've got my little tape measure here. If we measure it, and I just use pins, here's another thing that people have been talking about. Said you have to have this thing that goes over that pins on, a sleeve they called it. I haven't had any problem by just using clip pins, okay? I did buy a sleeve that goes over the thing, but as far as that, clip pins have been all I have needed. Now, what does it do to your PTO shaft? Well, the center of this to the center of where the thing was is 5 inches. So it lengthens your PTO shaft. You have to have at least 5 extra inches. Okay? You have to have at least 5 extra inches for your PTO. Now, right up here is what I was talking about the swivel. Now, sometimes you have to, depending on where you set your implement, sometimes you have to let your top link out just a little. Sometimes you have to adjust your stump jumper. Let my top link out a little more. Well, it's being that way this morning. There we go. Had to push my top link down. You just pull that up. Okay. There's the swivel. Now, most of the time, you can do that from the tractor seat. If it's stuck like that, you just work it up and down a couple times and it comes loose. Now, as far as disengaging from the thing or engaging, either one, down here these have clips that will work in and out, but it's so much easier to just pull them in. Let me see, can you see that? It's so much easier to just pull them in. I'm going to do the one on this side. Do the one on this side. Then you can just drop your hitch and drive off. It's that simple. Okay, you don't have to struggle around with that 3-point hitch. I've always struggled with getting my 3-point hitch to work correctly. So I've had to kick the mower around or try and move the tiller. It's just a pain in the butt. But there are some things that don't fit your quick hitch. It is so much easier to work with your quick hitch, if you're going to take it off and on and that kind of stuff, to pull it all the way up. Saves your back. It's just so much easier to do it that way. I anticipate I'll be using this into my 70s. It's not that heavy. It's heavy enough, but it's not too heavy. But now let's talk about some of the things that it won't hook up to. My quick hitch will not hook up to my hay rake. It's my hay rake isn't wide enough to connect into the quick hitch. The distance from center to center of this quick hitch from outside to outside, I should say, is 30 inches. Okay? It's 30 inches from here to there. So that means that implements that are smaller than 30 inches don't fit on it. Now, some implements I'm able to come up with a solution. Let me show you one of them. Now, I have several old trailers here on College Hill Farm. I got my boat trailer. I got a trailer for pulling. I got a trailer I'm building a chicken house on. You know, I've got several old trailers that I want to move with my tractor. Well, I don't want to take off the quick hitch every time I move an implement with my tractor or a trailer. So, in order to do that, I modified. I got an implement, a 3-point implement, and here it is down here. Okay, it's for trailer hitches, but one of the problems was that it is not, it's a category 0, which won't fit on my tractor. Now, some would say, well, buy longer points. You'll see when I set it up there why I don't buy longer points, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and set this up and show you what I did to compensate for that. Now, this is my solution. Let me bring it closer. I put a pin and hook here in the top that goes onto that swivel. But this is just a simple solution. I try to make all my solutions as simple as possible. So this works really well because the truth is the weight is not held by this, the weight of the trailers. None of my trailers have a tongue weight over 400 pounds. So this works really, really, really well. And then if you look down here, I need to put a pin in this one. The pin's gone missing. Sometimes they do that. But all you have to do, once it's on there, is you just close these up and you're ready to haul stuff with your trailer. It's real quick and simple. But here's my solution. If you'll look right here, this is where the pins were, and they stuck out about that far. Well, I couldn't get a pin that would stick out because of the way this is. You can't get a pin all the way. There's no opening to get in here with a wrench to adjust a pin, so I couldn't make an extension on my pin. I could have if I'd wanted to weld it, but I didn't feel like welding it. And most folks don't feel like welding stuff. So what I did was I just took some U-bolts and bought a pull bar, drawbar from Tractor Supply for about $35, a Category 1 drawbar, and just clamped this down to it, and it took care of the problem. So I'm in this about $70 hitch and all. So it's not too bad, so I don't complain too much about that. Now, what this hitch won't do. Okay, here's my potato plow. Some people call it a middle buster, okay? But let me put it up here and you'll see what I'm talking about. And these have the longest pins I could come up with. You see, it's 6 inches short. So connecting this plow up to the quick hitch is just not going to be an option. Well, you know, that's not a big deal. Let's look at the quick hitch. It's real easy to take on and off. Now the quick hitch is super simple to take on and off. For example, all I have to do is I'm going to do it this way first. There are pins right here. You pull these pins, there's one there, and there's one over here on the other side just like it. You pull those pins, and then what I like to do is I set the unit down. I lift up, take it out, let it sit there. This is what's in there, and I just connect it back on the bottom, back through there, and put the pin back in so I don't lose it. Okay, there's that pin back in. Do the same thing over here. Now it's resting on the arms, okay? They're up higher up, so it's resting on the arms, so it's not working me to death to do this. Now I step in over here and put my belly against it, and then take out this pin, take out the pin, take loose the top link, and I hold the top link up because there's a little hook on my tractor, allows me to hold it up, and I put the pin back in, and the clip, and it's ready to come off. It goes on in reverse. So you just pick it up and it sets right off. It is not very heavy. Now if I can find the length to it again, I'll put on how many pounds it is. But I would say it's probably no more than 50 pounds, maybe less than that. Okay, that's the review of my Harbor Freight $99 quick hitch. 5-year review. Now, what do I do to maintain the quick hitch? Well, it's really simple. I've got some spray lithium grease that I spray all of the rotating points with. It doesn't have any grease points. It doesn't have any grease fittings. So I spray them with a white lithium grease once a year, generally at the end of the year, so that over the winter they don't rust and seize up. But other than that, that's all I've done to it in 5 years. Would I buy it again? I'd buy it again in a heartbeat. And I'm thinking about buying an extra one just in case. But this one has no cracks. It has no blemishes. And I've done everything with it. I've cut down trees big around as my wrist with this on. What I probably wouldn't do, since that top connection is not secure for pushing, I probably wouldn't use a blade on the back that I would be pushing backwards with. Pulling forwards, I'd put anything on it. I haven't found anything that causes that quick hitch any problems. Anything that my tractor can pull. Now my tractor's 1,500 pounds, I think, 1,534 pounds, something like that. So it pulls just about anything I put to it. Would I put it on a box blade? If I was going to be just pulling forward, absolutely. If I was going to be pulling backwards, I'd think about it. But I'd probably still use that hitch and see what it did, because it's not in a place that's going to cause it to break, to tear your box blade up or your tractor. It would just come loose, and then you'd have to figure something else out. Okay, it's just that way. Now, if you like this stuff, this homesteading, do-it-yourself, alternative ideas kind of stuff, be certain to come on out to the channel and subscribe. We do this homesteading, designing, all that stuff every week, sometimes 1, sometimes 5 videos. Just depends on what's going on in the homestead that week. Now, if you hit the little bell when you come to the channel, it'll notify you when we upload a video. We upload every Sunday. Now, with that being said, it's time for me to get on to the next thing and get this tater plow on.